Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Hope you guys are incredible wherever you're tuning in from. And I'm going to be diving really deep into relationships today and how to attract the right person and find the right person to be with you forever, or your life partner, or for however long that person serves you for. Because I don't necessarily believe that you're only meant to have one person for the rest of your life. Obviously, it can very much work out that way, but sometimes people come for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and sometimes that person that comes into your life that you're with might not be the person that you're with forever. So just something to wasn't what I was intending to talk about today, but I thought I'd throw it out there because it just came to me just then. So I'm going to be going through, guys, how to attract that right person, how to find who they are, and how to figure out the non-negotiables for yourself when it comes to a relationship. So I guess first things first is that you want to make sure that you're at a point before you start, quote, looking for a relationship or wanting to get into one, is make sure that you've worked on yourself. And obviously that's a forever journey. Everyone's always working on themselves. I'm still working on me every single day. I'm still working on my stuff, my childhood stuff, my traumas, my insecurities, the things that I haven't healed through yet, and things that I'm not conscious of, because you don't know what you don't know. So the more experiences I have, the more times I get triggered, the more goals that I set, the more action that I take, the more things pop up for me. So I'm forever healing, and so are you, and so is everyone else out there. Everyone's always on their own journey. So first things first is make sure that you're not in the mentality of a scarce mentality where you, quote, need to get into a relationship because you're desperate of love. Because whatever you need in life will control you. I'll say it again. Whatever you need in life will control you. If you're needy of love, then you'll be controlled and manipulated by the people that you perceive holds the key to love. If you need money or you're needy of money, you'll be controlled and manipulated by the people that you perceive give you the power of money. So if you're in a relationship and you're needy of that love, then if that person treats you poorly or does things that you don't necessarily stand for or crosses your boundaries, if you're needy of their love, you're going to tolerate that. You're going to lower your self-worth because you're needy of someone else's love. So make sure when you get into that relationship or you're looking to get into a relationship, you're coming from a place of abundance, not a place of scarcity. That is the first point I want to get up front on this video. So once you get to that point, once you believe that you're truly looking for a relationship to take your life collectively to a new level, these are the steps I would take. The analogy I always use is if you have the mentality that you aren't full and you need to find someone else to complete you, like say you're only at 50% and you need to find someone else to make up that extra 50%, then you're going to be therefore needy and codependent on someone else. That's not how I believe relationships thrive. I believe that you are at 100%. You fucking have an incredible quality of life, and then you meet someone else who also has an incredible quality of life, and both of your lives get better together. You don't need each other to have an incredible life, because again, then if you're not, then you're needy of that person and you'll be easily manipulated from them. Not to say that you don't both help each other grow. On the contrary, relationships make you or force you to grow the most because it brings up the shit you haven't healed on. So I actually believe relationships are some of the most therapeutic things and constructs that you can get yourself into, because they do reveal those deeper wounds of you that you haven't healed from. That's why they trigger you so much in a relationship. So that's just my 2 cents on that as well. But here's the practical steps I'm going to do. So I got 4 steps for you for today. First thing, before I give you those steps, is there's a very good contrast between hiring someone for a business, like an employee, and also a life partner. Now, remember, the most powerful decision you're going to make for your life is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So choosing and attracting and committing to your life partner is one of the biggest decisions you can ever make in your life. So I want to give you a couple steps that will allow you to make a more conscious decision instead of just getting caught like a deer in the headlights and just being overwhelmed with all the love and all the amazing sex and all the amazing experiences, and you actually miss some things that you could have got clear on from the start to avoid you going down a road that you maybe didn't need to go down. So first things first. The first question, just like pretend I'm going to be hiring an accountant. Okay, you need someone to do your books, some numbers, and do your taxes and all that stuff. And for anyone accountant-wise, you probably want someone who's really good at numbers, someone who's probably not the most charismatic person because they're going to be too busy chatting to people. You want them a little bit more. I'm very generalizing right now. Obviously, there's charismatic accountants out there, so don't get offended if you're an accountant. But generally speaking, you want your accountant to be very numbers focused, very admin focused, very attention to detail, and you don't necessarily want them being the most, or they don't need to be the most charismatic person on the planet, because it doesn't matter. They're not doing sales, they're not doing presentations, they're crunching the numbers. So the first question you want to ask is, can this person do the job? Have they got the skill sets and have they got the ability and the capability to do the job at hand? Yes, they do, or no, they don't. So let's use that in a relationship. Does this person have the ability to be your partner, as in they meet your needs as a partner, whether that be sexually, intellectually, energetically speaking, health and fitness wise, career driven, etc. What is it that you need in a relationship? Are you highly sexual? Are you highly growth driven? Are you very, very high on your health and fitness? Like, what is it that you need from a partner? And do they meet that need? Are they able to satisfy that role as your partner? Second step, does their nature allow them to do it sustainably long term? Let's use an example as the accountant. So say you got me. I am not the best when it comes to attention to detail numbers wise, admin wise. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of doing emails. That's why I hire other people to do it, but I do them when I need to. But it's definitely not a strength of mine. Can I do it? Yes, I can. I can focus and really commit to doing something when I need to. So I can do the job of doing some emails, but it's not my strength. It's not in my nature to do that long term, because it's not what I'm really good at. It's like getting your introverted person to do sales, and not I'm more of an introverted person, and I love sales, the style of sales that I do. But generally speaking, if you've got a really quiet introverted person that likes to stay behind a computer screen, you're probably not going to throw them in front of large groups of people and get them to be a presenter or a salesperson on stage, because it's their nature doesn't fit the role. So where I'm getting at for a relationship is that person's nature, whether that they're energetic, their character. It's like, say you're someone that needs a really loving, caring, softer energy in your life. Can that person do it? They probably can. Most people do have everyone does have a softer side to them, but is it in their nature to do that long term, or do they really need to force themselves to do that? It's like, for example, I'll use myself. I'm not a big partier. I don't go out too often and party and drink and have fun from that perspective. My version of fun is a lot different to other people's versions of fun. So my partner, if she needed to, if a need for her was to go out partying every single weekend, drinking and having fun that way, and she needed me or wanted me to join her, it's not my nature to do that. I can do it. I don't mind going out and having a boogie now and then. I probably drink once a year or twice a year, if that. But it's not in my nature to want to go do that. I'd rather stay at home and read a book, or I don't know, do some work, or do a meditation, or I know, hang out with the dogs or something like that. That's in my nature. So you want to figure out, can they do the job? Do they satisfy your needs as a partner? Can they fill those cups up in a relationship for you? And secondly, is it within their nature to do it long-term sustainably for you? Because again, anyone can force themselves to do anything. I can force myself to do some admin and do some emails, but it's not in my nature and my character traits to do that sustainably. Hope that made sense. Third thing, you want to make sure your values are aligned. Now, I don't talk about, if anyone that knows me well, I don't talk about values in a sense of loyalty, honesty, respect, trust. They're characters traits, they're human personality traits. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your life priority values. If you don't understand what I mean by that, go to my YouTube and type in values determination. Lewis Huxter, values determination. There's a free video there, free PDF download. Go do that and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like values, for example, it might be family. It might be wealth, it might be career, it might be music, it might be animals, it might be learning, it might be teaching, it might be I don't know, whatever. It's just whatever's important to you. What do you spontaneously feel inspired to do? Whether that be traveling, whether that be business, whether that be investing, whether that be nature, going on hikes, hanging out. It's whatever is important to you. Now, you need to have fundamental similarities. You don't want someone who is the polar opposite as you, and you don't want someone who's the exact same as you, because the idea of a relationship, like I said, is to help you grow. Not that you need them to grow, but by nature of being in a relationship, that's what they're going to do. They're going to help you in their values, and they're going to help you in their values. Let me give you an example. My top 3 values is learning, teaching, and wealth creation. Those are my top 3. George's, off the top of my head, is family, health, and I believe image. I believe they're the top 3. Sorry, Georgia, if I got those wrong. I haven't looked at yours in a long time. So I'm pretty sure that's her top 3. So Georgia, she has made me, just by being around her, proximity, you become who you hang with, and by being around Georgia, she has made me better with my family life. I'm more connected, closer with my family. I'm better with my health, and I'm better with my image. I actually look after my beard. I do my hair nicer. I'm a cleaner, more presentable person now because I've got Georgia in my life. We've got similarities on health. We have similarities on career ambition. We have similarities on learning. We have similarities in there. So we're not complete opposites, but we're not completely the same. You want around about a 60% difference. So 40% the same, 60% different. And that's a very rough number. You can find examples of people who are exactly the same and people who are completely opposite. But from the way I've been educated from this and the way I've learned this, the way I've experienced this through myself and personal clients, is you want to make sure there is that difference there. So you have your own personality and your own life outside of a relationship, because that might tie into that first point. If you're codependent on a relationship, then you're going to be needy of that person, and that neediness energy is going to flow over and honestly fuck up that relationship. So back to the point, is you want to have similar values, and mainly similarities on the ones that are non-negotiables for you. And I will be transparent and honest on this. The 2 that I had was learning, so growing, not learning as in you need to study books all day, but growth, working on your own growth, like healing, all the stuff I mentioned at the start of this video, healing your insecurities, your pain points, your traumas, your whatever it is that's holding you back, your restrictions on life, psychologically speaking. Growth was a non-negotiable for me, and also health. I could not date someone who does not fundamentally look after their health. I don't have to date bodybuilders. I don't necessarily want to date bodybuilders, but at least someone who fundamentally looks after their health. Eats relatively healthy, trains relatively consistently, and relatively looks after their health. Those are my 2 non-negotiable alignments that I was looking for in a partner. And the beautiful part about, I guess, attracting and finding a partner is that if once you're really clear on what it is that you're looking for, you can be picky. And there's nothing wrong with being picky. To a degree, obviously, you don't want to be over picky because everyone has downsides. Some people have the fantasy that they're going to find someone that has all upsides, no downsides. That's a load of shit that doesn't exist. Everyone has downsides, including myself, including Georgia, including you. Everyone has their ups, everyone has their downs. So just don't go into that. Don't take what I just said to the extreme and try be so nitpicky over everything and everything about your partner, because everyone has downsides. Please remember that. And then the last point is that you want to make sure that you have alignment with your big non-negotiable goals. The biggest example for that is kids. Do you want kids or not? Because say you're dating someone and it's been their life's ambition, it's their life's purpose to have kids, and you're never wanting kids ever in your life, then obviously that's going to be a challenge growing up. So you want to make sure that your bigger non-negotiable goals, it might be buying a house, or I guess career wealth goals. Kids is definitely in there. Travel might be in there. I guess experiences might be in there. It's different to everyone. Religious beliefs might be in there. Like there are people that I know that are hardcore beliefs around their religion, and they couldn't be with anyone who didn't share those same beliefs, which is totally fine. There's no right or wrong. So you just got to make sure you're clear on what your non-negotiables are in life. So I'm going to read that back to you in 4 steps. You want to, number one, make sure that person can do the job that you're looking for. Intellectually, spiritually, sexually, physically, emotionally, whatever it is that you need from a relationship. Secondly, you want to make sure that their nature allows them to do it long term and it's not something they're forcing themselves to do. Because if they're forcing themselves to do it, they will not do it long term and they'll burn themselves out. They'll create resentment, frustration towards you, and it will ruin the relationship. Number 3, your values need to be similarly aligned. They don't need to be perfectly aligned. They don't need to be the complete opposite. They need to be somewhat aligned. And then number 4, your long-term non-negotiable goals need to be aligned, such as kids, such as travel, such as experiences, such as wealth, whatever it is that your non-negotiables are. If you follow those 4 steps, you're going to increase the probability of choosing and attracting the right partner in your life. I hope that made sense. I hope you got some value from this. If you did, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know which points stood out the most to you, what your takeaways were. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that notification button if you haven't. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Connect with me. Send me a message. I love talking to people. So if you've watched this, you got some value from it, send me a message. And last favor, if you could send this to one person that you think would get value from it, that would mean the world to me. Have an incredible day. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.